What if I told you that being single at 42 isn't a failure, but a powerful chapter in your life story? That it's not about loneliness, but about freedom, growth, and self-discovery. Being single at 42 can feel like uncharted territory, especially when society has spent decades telling us that happiness looks a certain way. Marriage, kids, a white picket fence, and a life neatly tied with a bow. But let me tell you something. I know what it's like. I've been there. You watch friends settle into their routines, celebrating anniversaries, posting family photos, and building lives that seem so complete. Meanwhile, you might be sitting here, wondering if you've missed the boat or if you're somehow behind in life. As Maya Angelou once said, if you're always trying to be normal, you will never know how amazing you can be. Being single at 42 isn't about what's missing. It's about everything you still have to gain. But here's the truth. Being single at 42 isn't a tragedy. It's not a failure. It's not even a detour. It's an opportunity. An opportunity to define your life on your own terms, without compromise, without apology. It's a chance to chase passions you've put on hold, to build deep and meaningful friendships, to explore the world, and to grow into the person you've always wanted to be. Some of the happiest, most fulfilled people I know are single. Not because life handed them a raw deal, but because they chose this path. They chose freedom. They chose themselves. I once met someone who, at 42, decided to finally start their dream business. They said, "If not now, when?" Another person picked up a paintbrush for the first time in decades and discovered a talent they never knew they had. And then there was someone who told me, "I realized that the most important relationship I'll ever have is the one I have with myself." These stories aren't exceptions. They're proof that your life isn't over just because you're single. In fact, it might just be the beginning of something extraordinary. So if you're single at 42, or any age, really, here's how you can fully embrace this chapter of your life and make it the most fulfilling one yet. 1. Rewrite your story. The first step is to change the narrative in your head. Stop seeing being single as waiting for something. You're not waiting for life to start. It's already happening. Right now. This is your time to live on your terms, to design a life that feels authentic to you. Ask yourself, what would my life look like if I stopped comparing it to someone else's? What would it feel like to fully own my choices and celebrate my journey? 2. Invest in yourself. This is your time to explore, grow, and become the best version of yourself. What lights you up? What have you always wanted to do but never had the time or courage to try? Maybe it's learning a new skill, starting a business, or finally booking that solo trip you've been dreaming about. This is your chance to create a life that's so rich and fulfilling, you won't even have time to worry about what society thinks. 3. Build a community that uplifts you. Being single doesn't mean being alone. Surround yourself with people who see you, value you, and inspire you to be your best self. Whether it's deepening friendships, strengthening family bonds, or joining a community of like-minded individuals, focus on building relationships that bring joy and connection without the pressure to fit into a mold. And remember, the most important relationship you'll ever have is the one with yourself. Spend time nurturing that. 4. Embrace the power of choice. One of the greatest gifts of being single is the freedom to choose. You get to decide what your life looks like, who you spend your time with, and what matters most to you. Use that power intentionally. Date if you want to, but do it because it adds to your life, not because you feel like you should. Say yes to the things that excite you and no to the things that drain you. This is your life, and you get to call the shots. Your story isn't over. It's still being written. And the best part? You hold the pen. So go out there and make this chapter the most exciting one yet. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And hey, subscribe for more content that empowers, inspires, and reminds you that your life is yours to create